to Black Spring. Good morning. Marcy T, good morning. Morning. Morning, everybody. Latressa, the Flying Guillotine, Marcy T, Black Spring with Autumn. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? I don't know if you guys can tell, but my voice acting real funny. Wild and out of control. Latressa Montgomery, salute to you. Good morning. Tim Duncan? Why would I? What? I don't think I'm Tim Duncan. The hell? So how y'all doing this morning? I'm doing pretty good. I actually feel great. Despite, the voice, right? I don't know what it is. This shit with this goddamn shit. Happy Friday. Tanya D, good morning to you. We gonna get into this. Some wild shit. Some wild news came out last night. the psyop continues, and just understand, while the psyop is going on, they are making way for digital ID and round-the-clock surveillance. So this is what's coming down the pipe, just so y'all know. Just so y'all know. But these things are very much real that I'm going to talk about today. A lot going on during this regime. God damn, why it's so damn hot? Hold on, man. Hold on, killer. I don't need to be that goddamn hot, goddamn it. The fuck? Anyway. Typical Marxist, this guy says. Okay. Sure, I'm a Marxist. The bottom line is this. When they do things like they did with Charlie Kirk, and when I say they, don't ask who they is. You know what I'm talking about. They often recruit foreign assets to commit certain things, right? This is what they do. Because they can separate themselves from the situation, right? Someone says, Charlie who? Hell, I don't know. Who is Charlie Kirk? Who was Charlie Kirk? Well, they snatched him up when he was 18 years old, groomed him, and made him a very big, they made him big, right? And he was towing the line. That's what he was doing. He was towing the line. He was pushing the narrative. He was pushing to the left-right paradigm. And so, yeah, he was useful. But when he proved himself to no longer be useful, well, guess what? A furry-loving transsexual terror cell member decided to take him out, right? That's what they want us to believe. Okay, sure. Now, what's up with these Egyptian military personnel that were in Utah, that were dropped off in Utah on September 4th, just 6 days before Charlie Kirk was killed? What's up with that? Well, according to Candace Owens, right, what she said, she verified someone told her that was on the same flight. Now, this is what Candace Owens is saying. Take it with a grain of salt, however you want to take it. But she said that Egyptian military contractors were on the same flight as this person that told her. They were dropped off, and when the plane left on the 10th to go back to Egypt or whatever, guess what? They weren't on the plane. They weren't on that flight. That's what she said. Okay? Now, she says it's a fact. She says she was able to verify it, whatever the case may be. So I don't know how long she had been sitting on this information. And for all I know, she could be playing the game too. It could all be bullshit, right? It could all be bullshit. Right? It could be bullshit. Who knows? Well, if it is, why go all this way to create this whole fiasco around this situation? Right? If they didn't want you to believe that something more nefarious, if they didn't want you to believe that something more nefarious was going on with Charlie Kirk's death, that it wasn't just Tyler Robinson, why go through all this? Right? Latressa Montgomery, salute to you for that $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Think about it. I don't know. I can't see a reason. Do they want to sow doubt in the American people and their trust in the government? Is that what they want? Because all this is accomplishing, right? If Candace is in on it, if Candace is trying to help confuse matters or whatever the case may be, how does this help the government, right? These are the things I ask myself. If this was a psychological operation and Candace Owens is in on it, and look, it's not very effective. What are they? Does the government want us to believe that Charlie Kirk was killed by their hand or with their help? That they may have maybe, I don't know, hired these Egyptian military contractors, these mercenaries, for lack of a better word. Why would they do that? You would think, right, that they would want everybody to believe that Tyler Robinson did it. You would think they would work tirelessly and anybody in on it would point towards Tyler Robinson. Yes, it could be a distraction, but a distraction from what? Right? Why this distraction? These are my questions. It makes little to no sense to me because there are other ways to distract than to have people increase the lack of trust in government and increase the lack of trust in Israel, right? I would not distract people in that direction. Because if you look at what they're distracting us from, right? All these foreign affairs, all these wars that they're trying to get us into, the nuclear testing, all these different things, right? What are they? Why this in particular? Now, I don't 100% trust Candace Owens, right? It wouldn't be smart to because I don't know her. So I can't trust any of these people. But I'm leaning toward her. I'm leaning more toward the evidence that she's bringing than the FBI and Turning Point and Officer Tantrum and all these other guys that are on the other end of it that don't want you to ask no questions. So I'm gonna rock with the people that encourage people to ask questions, that encourage people to question government, that encourage people to look into government narratives and not just outright trust it. I'm gonna lean more towards that because of just the entire situation. This is exposing Zionism, in my opinion. Right? Zionists do not want to be exposed in any form or fashion. You see how they try to shut down conversations. You can't talk about a Jew in a positive light or a negative light if you're not a Jew. Trump is from outside the system. That's why people love him. No, he's not. Trump is not outside the system. Trump is very much part of the system. Marcy T, I know you got doubts. I do too. But I think this might be a real thing. Yeah, and I go to East. Oh, okay. Do believe Candace Owens over the FBI. Yes, Chad Johnson. I do believe Candace Owens over the FBI. Because the receipts that Candace has provided are much more foundational and make more sense than the FBI. Absolutely. So I should just trust the FBI for what? Because it's the FBI? Help me understand it. Why would I trust the FBI? I don't trust the government, period. Yeah, I believe Candace Owens over. Yeah, I do. Mike says in a 30-06 round getting lodged where they claim is ridiculous, clean pass through on a wild boar at 200 yards. I believe, yes, but listen, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Trigger Smart. Trigger Smart, at first he didn't believe that a 30-06 would get caught in Charlie Kirk's neck. Like, it wouldn't be possible at all whatsoever. It would almost every time go right through. But he did some research, okay? And in his research, he discovered that high-powered rifles, high-powered rifle rounds have been known not to leave an exit wound and to stay in the body. Now, his research was in regards to all kinds of high-caliber, high-powered rifles, not just 30-06s. So he kind of changed his mind a little bit and said it could be possible, but I think the odds are very low. I don't think it. Sure, is it possible? Sure, but not highly probable. Not in those conditions, and not where Charlie Kirk was hit, because he talked about cases where the bullet got stuck or lodged in an animal or lodged in a human being. But it's like, unless you have nearly the same circumstances and the same environmental factors and all that surrounding that, what Charlie Kirk had, I ain't rocking. Because there are instances where they have shot animals in the neck with a 30-06 from the same distance, and it went straight through and destroyed a lot of the tissue, like damn near blew heads off and all that. And people have tested this, right? Tested it. Tried to create the same conditions, and every time the bullet went straight through. So salute to Trigger Smart, but yeah, I'm not rocking just because you, no. Yes, Black Spring or Autumn dropped a copy of my, the book I published. It's called The Seeds of Dark Matter Disease. Y'all go get you a free copy if you have a Kindle account. Go get you a free copy and just read it. Read it and leave a review. Yes, Trump was bailed out by the Rothschilds Bank. He was. Donald Trump is part of the system. He's not outside of the system. Y'all believe that? Well, crazy. Lord Crimson, salute to you. He says, the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. Yeah. Shepherd's Chaplain says, let's turn to God. Shepherd's Chapel on YouTube explains the whole Bible. Y'all go check out Shepherd's Chapel. If you guys are into Christianity and all that, y'all go check that out. Mike says, too much hunky-dory with the story. Yeah, I agree. Bone Jones says, small load, 125 grain traveling at 21 feet per second. I trust me, I do not believe it was a 30-06. I don't care what Trigger Smart says. Zach says, bro, don't understand physics and guns. Sure, pal. Of course I don't. Flying Guillotine says, the Seeds of Dark Matter, can't wait for the movie. Hell, I might just make a movie my damn self. I might do a low budget, you know what I mean? I really want to create a graphic novel out of the book, out of this whole story. A series of graphic novels and maybe some, maybe like a little animation around it. Mike M says, Bones Jones, just look up the official report, law enforcement. Law enforcement recovered an older make Mauser type bolt action. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he used it. Just because they found the Mauser doesn't mean he used that or that was used. Snapzilla, Marcy T says, Snaps really, see, the reason I say that is if you check out Candace's expose on my Chrome's wife, you're going to see nobody can talk like that and still survive. Mike Chrome's wife? Well, Marcy T, we'll see. We'll see, Marcy T. Perhaps not. You know, she's still young. Give her time. Right? Vance says, I refuse to take part in having the blood of a murdered God's son on my hands. I believe the church state in the state can address that with the Heavenly Father. Okay. Chad Johnson says, I don't need to trust anyone. Hundreds of people were part of the police investigation. Autopsy report. Where are you getting this information, Chad Johnson? What do you mean? Oh my. Chad Johnson, who are these hundreds of people? Where are they at? Where are the interviews? Where's the autopsy report? Have you seen it? I don't think you have. I don't think you have, my friend. Might say that might just be the rifle they pass off as the murder weapon. But still, yeah, I mean, just because they saw and found it does not mean that that was it, right? I know Lord Crimson is crazy. Hey, that's what he said. He got on me for believing Candace over the FBI. So, you know. Now, she said she verified that there were indeed Egyptian military contractors dropped off in Utah on the 4th of September. That's what she said. Now, you know, we're just supposed to trust that, right? I don't know. But it makes sense, right? It makes sense because why not use foreign actors to commit the act to insulate yourself and isolate yourself from the situation as much as possible? Why not? The same thing happened with 9/11. Same thing happened with 9/11. All those Saudi Arabians, all those Saudi Arabian patsies, yeah. The one whose passports they found that were completely intact, blocks and blocks away from the towers, yeah. They were Saudi Arabian. But they blamed it on Osama bin Laden and them. Oh, you talking about Macron? Okay. His wife passed away? Or she died? I don't know. It's like if everyone just started using a British accent, but worse. What you talking about? Like, seriously, black people are making a competition of who can mess up English the most. It's so annoying. What are we talking about? Lord Crimson says he trusts the party. It's okay. We see a lot of these days. Yeah. Church and state is when 400 years of dark ages happened. Do not combine church and state. Absolutely not. Colette Reed. Salute to you, Colette Reed. Good morning. Y'all pardon my voice, man. Pardon my voice. My body is fighting off toxins. So it's detoxing. So it is what it is. I never go to Yale. That's a cult. Yeah, I mean, what do you want to do with your life, right? They have encouraged everybody, oh, just go to school, go to college, and you'll get a great career. Take up all this student loan debt. Bada boom, bada bing, your life is great, right? Well, what about the trades? What about building? What about, mechanics, electrical, plumbing, The trades are suffering from a lack of skilled labor. There is a lack of skilled labor. And not only, nowadays, not only do you have people skilled trades with your hands, right? You can build with your hands and all that stuff. Now they got 3D modeling, right? So basically, you build the 3D model of the building before it even starts getting built. That way, you'll see what it looks like. You'll know where to run your pipes, where to run your conduit, where to put your equipment, and bada boom, bada bing, you pass off sheets. So you build this model. You do all you have coordination meetings. You make sure there's no clashes. Salute to you, human nature. I appreciate you. And you can see what your shit looks like. So if you're an electrician, you run all your conduit, and the plumbers run all their pipe, and the AC guys, they run their duct, and you make sure no one's in each other's way before you even build that shit. So there's that avenue as well. So, were there Egyptian military contractors drop off in Utah? What, 6 days before Charlie Kirk was killed? According to Candace Owens, it's a fact. But she verified this. She has a source. Someone told her about it, and she says she checked and checked and checked. I have no idea. I do know that when she produces receipts, it backs up what she says. That's what I do know. When the autopsy is released, are you idiots going to admit that? No, I'm not. No. So I'm an idiot because I choose to not trust the government. And the government orchestrated autopsy. So I'm supposed to believe the autopsy, right? For what reason? Why should I believe an autopsy? Yeah, I can say they made it up. I'm supposed to trust the government. Oh, look what they did. They provided an autopsy. Congratulations. So? So what? Any paid asset can create an autopsy. So what? I don't give a fuck. Janet Nelson, salute to you. Good morning. C-Swag says, if I didn't have a father growing up, I'd probably desperate to prove my masculinity. C-Wag, what are you talking about? I couldn't read. I'd probably depend on crime too. Okay. Right. See, you will just say it's made up. So? Because nothing that the FBI has provided adds up and makes sense. So yes, I'll probably say it's made up. I'm letting you know that right now. Matt Sky says, you don't trust, then pay for your own autopsy. Huh? Wow. Marcy says, I didn't say believe everything she says, but truth is truth. Exactly, Marcy T. Truth is truth. And what does the autopsy prove? It just proves how he died and what he died from. It doesn't tell you who killed him. And there are multiple reports from both sides that say that it was only a bullet fragment found, and they did not identify that fragment and match it to the weapon. So it doesn't prove who did what and who planned what. It doesn't prove any of that. It just shows what Charlie Kirk died from and what was found in his body at the time of his death and what actually killed him. That's all the autopsy is going to tell us. And it might give us a trajectory. That's all it does, right? It doesn't prove anything other than how he died. Janet Nelson says, this ICE guy is terrorizing neighborhoods. He's nuts. Who you talking about? Y'all can send me any information y'all want to freedomsmarch80@gmail.com. Chad says, okay, walk me through how what they provided doesn't make sense. I've done that before. I've already done that. I've already done that. Multiple content creators have done that. Now, if you choose to ignore it, or if you choose to, you choose what you want to believe from that. I've already done that. Well, old Slayer, the IDF could have hired Egyptian assets to do anything, right? That's possibly. Chad Johnson, who's hyperfixated on the autopsy? When have I talked about the autopsy? You brought up the autopsy, not me. Martin, you don't have to be here. BS conspiracy theories. Okay. You obviously, what? All you got to do is hit do not recommend. That's all you got to do. Janet Nelson says, plus they concluded what was and how written in the conclusion. Okay. I've done it, Chad Johnson. Just because I don't choose to do it now does not mean I can't. What are you talking about? That is a fallacious argument. That's called post hoc ergo proctor hoc. That's the fallacy that you're committing right now. You're saying that because I simply choose not to walk you through it, that I can't. That does not logically follow. Just because I don't choose to walk you through what does not make sense from the FBI narrative does not mean that I can't do it, because I've done it before. So that's a horrible argument. In honor of eating healthy and Thanksgiving quickly arriving, blueberry pumpkin pie substitute. Have pumpkin for blueberries. It's called Blumpkin. Nice. So it is what it is, y'all. Exactly, Caitlin. Presuming the autopsy is even truthful, we'll be told what they want us to believe. Exactly. Marcy says, you're a hypocrite, you're a haughty and half-minded, and you think you're smart, and you're a dumbbell. Marcy, you funny. Anyway, y'all. Yes. A lie is still a lie, regardless of who believes it. Even if everyone believes it, a lie is still a lie. And the truth is still a truth. Still the truth. Even if no one chooses to believe it. Facts. C-Wag says, like, if someone calls you a socialist or fascist, ask them to explain it, because these labels describe Democrats to me. Well, thank you, Casual Burritos. I appreciate that. It was definitely all lies. It's obvious it wasn't the kid with that gun. I don't believe it was. And that's okay. I don't have to believe it. Janet Nelson says, Marcy, it's all perspective views. He has the right to call it as he sees it. Lord Crimson says, I disagree. If my 6-year-old had son tells me, look what Santa bought me, I wouldn't call him a liar. Yeah? Good point. Well, you know, that's what they do, Marcy T. If you don't believe what they believe, then they go into launching ad hominems against you. Chad Johnson says, okay, explain why you believe it wasn't the kid. I've done that already. Go back to previous live streams. I'm about to get off and go handle my business. But I don't need you to believe what I'm saying, Chad. You believe what you want. Chad Johnson says this guy would find cookies stolen out of his cookie jar in the kitchen, find chocolate on his kid's hands, and blame the IDF. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life, Chad Johnson. That is the stupidest, most ridiculous statement I've ever heard in my life. You're a dumbass. Plain and simple. You have no real argument. So you create these false analogies, these false equivalences, and it doesn't make any sense. If I saw cookies missing from a cookie jar, saw chocolate on my kid's hands, I'm supposed to automatically believe that my kid took it? First of all, why would IDF come to my mind? I see what you're trying to do. I'm blaming the IDF for everything. Everything bad that happens. Well, if in the cookie jar, if someone stole something out of my cookie jar and I had IDF friends come to the house and they were talking about how much they love the cookies. Oh, I love, man, those are delicious cookies. Okay. An IDF soldier came to my house. My wife baked cookies. Salute to Janet Nelson. I appreciate you, Janet. I'm glad you think it's good content. I appreciate it, even though my voice is ass right now. Thank you so much. Thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the Zoots in boots. Yes, they are kosher cookies. Yes. So IDF soldier comes to the house, loves the cookies. My kid, not so much. He thinks they're not sweet enough. Okay. The IDF soldier thinks, well, I think they're just sweet enough for me. Okay. So we've already established my kid doesn't like the cookies. Okay. But there is a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting as well. So you got the cookies and you got the chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. You see, the IDF soldier stole the cookies out of the cookie jar, right? Stole the cookies out of the cookie jar, and my kid took and stole a little slice of cake from the cake pan. Okay. Now, the IDF soldier, he flew home the day after or the night of, him coming to visit my house. The next day he flies home. And before we went to bed, there were 12 cookies. But in the next day, there were 6 cookies left. But guess what? The cake is a whole cake. You can't really tell how much was missing because you didn't cut it all into individual slices. No, you cut the cake as you got it. Well, my kid snuck a piece of chocolate cake in the night. But the IDF soldier took the cookies. They're chocolate chip cookies. So the cookie to chocolate chip ratio, right, there's a lot less chocolate in the cookie than there is in the cake. It's a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. It's chocolate chip cookies with, you know, a few chocolate chips. And my kid has chocolate all over their hands. Right? It doesn't make sense. So, but because I can't tell, and this is what the IDF soldier knew. The IDF soldier knew that it was less likely for us to notice cake was missing than the cookies. So what he did was he encouraged my child to sneak the cake while he snuck the cookies. Because he knew, well, she's probably not going to wash her hands before she goes to bed. Not that well. And so he takes the cookies, bada boom, bada bing. I find my kid with chocolate on their hands when I discover that 6 cookies were missing. And then bada boom, I blame the kid automatically. That's what that would be like. That's a better analogy. Yeah, that's a better analogy. You gotta explain the analogies better. You gotta make it line up. You gotta make it align and make sense, right? You didn't give us enough information with that analogy. Anyway, Janet said he does have a right to disagree, Albert. Thank you. I appreciate that. T-A-T-Y. Toddy? Yes, double tap the screen, please. Y'all hit the like button. Yes, I got some local honey. I got it. A matter of fact, when I get back to the house, I'm going to take some warm water with some honey and lemon and drink that. Yes. Yes, Zoots and Boots. The moral of the story is don't invite IDF to begin with. Congratulations, Zoots. That's what I'm talking about, Miss Lady. She right on it. Zoots and Boots is right on it. Welcome to the channel. Oh, you're welcome, Garav. You're welcome. I hope you enjoy it. Yes, it's smoke screens and mirrors. Yes. Kahuna Mahuna says, grate some ginger into that and then gargle some sea salt. Yes, I will do that. How big is my chocolate stick? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. You won't ever have to worry about that. That's a great question, Lord Crimson. Has the cat got his tongue? Anyway, thank you guys for coming through. I will be coming back to discuss Donald Trump's retardation. Donald Trump is an idiot. But it's really not him, is it? No, it's not him. He's just following the rule book. He's reading the script. That's all he's doing. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. Yes, Marcy T is highly educated. Yes, and go Bears. Go Bears for sure. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for coming through. Hit that like button, y'all. Double tap the screen. That's all you got to do. Janet Nelson says, I'm 70. I've lived long enough to see it into all this nonsense. Salute to you, Janet. No, you don't have a right to attack anybody. Excuse me. Pardon me. Jesus. All right. Y'all stay safe out there, man. And hopefully more information will come out about these Egyptian military. I'm interested to see if Kash Patel and them are going to debunk what Candace Owens said about that. I'm very interested. So, you know, a lot of shit surrounding this that's very important. And could it be a distraction? Sure. But, you know, I can never be distracted from what's going on. I just bring you the information. Even if it's a distraction, It's still happening, right? Even if what's going on in Venezuela, they are primed to launch a ground invasion in Venezuela. And this is why I told y'all they wanted to push this ceasefire in Palestine so that they can focus their attention on taking Venezuela. This is just simply what I believe. That's why I believe this happened. So anyway, y'all stay tuned. We're going to get into these things. And I think that the testing of the nuclear weapons is a posturing tactic, right? But it's also going to put it's unnecessary, right? We don't need to be doing any nuclear testing in this country. It's completely asinine. It could lead to a lot of destruction down the road. So anyway. CWAG, you have bigger things to be concerned about than whether or not someone says y'all. Good Lord. Anyway, much love. So we got to be ready. We are not ready. No, we're not. We're not, sadly. But the Venezuelans are ready. Yeah. Yes, Kaylin, Trump is doing what he sold. Anyway, much love. Salute to YouTuber Glasgow. Salute to you this morning. Much love, like, share, subscribe, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.